Rise from your grave.
Alright, well everybody, welcome back. Did we miss anything?
3 months.
No, that doesn't seem right. It's like, holy shit!
David has a beard now.
Yeah, remember at one point we said we were going to release one of these every 2 weeks? That was 3 months ago.
Now, to be fair, we're lazy.
Well, we managed to get a whole 2 of them in before going 3 months.
Oh my god,
So-
yeah, I know. Who makes 2 things and then goes and reboots it again? Oh, wait. We'll get to that later.
Well, to be fair, we did have a lot to occupy our time, considering between then and now we made a feature-length film.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Where was I for that?
You were usually holding the microphone.
Oh god. No, that explains the audio. We'll get to that too. But so yes, if you are indeed listening again, I'm Chris, and with me is, as always, is Dave and Zade. Ted is not here this time, unfortunately. I'm sure he'll be back at some point. Or we can go with my idea I just thought up, and that's keep Zade for a while, and then just one day replace him with Ted and see if anyone ever notices.
Yeah, because we pretty much are twins vocally. If anything,
It's scary.
it is.
Yeah, I'd especially like to welcome back the only 2 people that I know who have actually listened to these. So thank you, Jay Grant and Danny Wilt.
Oh,
And congrats to Jay. Congrats to Jay on becoming a father.
Yes, there's that too.
Definitely. We still need to hang out.
Yeah, Jay, if you're listening, text Zade. Hang out with him.
Thank you.
That was it.
Hashtag love.
That was the entire point. Episode over.
So
We've got a lot of ground to cover, don't we?
yes, well, Chris threw out a great idea, which is because it's been a while since we've done one of these, and we probably need to get back into the groove of it. And since we are primarily an entertainment company, let's go ahead and start off simple. Go with your idea, talking about just catching up with what we've been doing entertainment-wise, what we've been watching, reading, shit like that.
Okay. You first.
And me first?
Yes.
All right. Well, I was telling you earlier, I finally got to see Kingsman Tuesday on our snow day, which was epic. And I tried to follow that up by watching Brick Mansions.
Wait, before you go on that, tell the story about about why you had to see it on Tuesday instead of on Valentine's Day like you wanted to.
Oh, good lord. So Katie and I hate Valentine's Day and everything it represents, and had no intention of going out and doing anything romantic like that. We were going to do what we've done the last 2 years since we've been together, which is watch horror movies. But then we realized that last Friday was Friday the 13th.
And you watched them all during October anyway.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Well, we can never watch enough horror films. So we decided, all right, so since Friday is Friday the 13th, we'll just switch our plans. We'll watch horror movies on Friday the 13th, and we'll go see Kingsman on the 14th, which was unfortunately Valentine's Day.
A solid plan. And so you guys went out there. It's weird. Was there any other movies playing that seemed to cause a problem?
Well, anybody who knows the Manchester area knows that occasionally on Friday and Saturday nights, or when there's a big opening, there's only so much parking at the Manchester movie theater. Sometimes you have to park in one of the nearby parking lots, like Moe's or someplace like that. So as we're pulling up, I can already tell it's going to be full. That's all right, we'll just park at Moe's. Moe's is full. Okay, we'll park by Sweet Frog. We ended up having to park in the middle of the parking lot in an enormous shopping center and walk over to the theater. And I say this like we live in Soviet Russia.
If you don't know, it's a good third of a mile back.
Something like that.
It's a good ways back from where they needed to go.
It was friggin' cold. So we finally park. We walk over to the theater. As we round Moe's and get an actual look at the theater, we see that the line to the ticket office is wrapping around the building, all for one movie. Because 50 Shades of Friggin' Grey opened on Friday. And for some reason, despite the plethora of information out there about 50 Shades of Grey and what it's about, couples decided to see this together on a romantic evening.
Because they hate each other in real life.
Apparently. So, and there's the story. We didn't even try to wait in that line. The movie started at 7:45. We got there at 7:40. Even with previews, we missed the first few minutes of the movie. So I got unnaturally pissed off about this.
So pissed off, you just invented a word.
What did I just say?
Unnaturally.
Naturally.
I think I just tried to combine several words into one. Unnaturally angry about it. And irrationally. Irrationally.
Irrational.
It really has been a while since we've done this, hasn't it? Irrationally. Yeah.
No, I think I know enough about 50 Shades of Grey to say it seems entirely
I've
rational.
read it, guys.
That's
It's true.
My mom has read all three of them, and she keeps telling me, despite my vehemence...
Oh my God,
telling
that's
her-
right. It's a trilogy. There's at least 2 more movies.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to try and do that thing with the final movie where they split it
Part
in two?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
And my mom loves them.
Yeah.
And she keeps telling me, despite my insistence that no, I'm never going to try to read these or ever see the movies, she keeps telling me, oh, you should read them, they're great. You know, it's more than just about the nonsense.
is.
At least she wouldn't dare try to drag you to one of those like the Twilight movies.
Yeah. Well, I saw those with my mother because I love her.
That's right. That's what I meant. I mean, Twilight is different. Twilight is
It's not BDSM old lady porn.
right. It's no, it
So-
is. That's totally what it is.
Yeah, so I was talking to my mom about the movie last week because she's been excited about it ever since they announced Charlie Hunnam was going to be in it well over a year ago, and then she was so disappointed when he dropped out. Had no idea who this new guy they cast was. Who is the new Christian Grey? I'm sorry, I have a
I don't
laptop
know.
right here in front of me.
I think it is a very young man.
But anyway, so a friend of hers was coming down to visit last week. I think specifically so that the two of them could go see it together. My mom pre-ordered tickets for 2 days in a row. She, without seeing it once, she knew that they were going to.
I'm sorry, you can't see the look of horrible shock we just gave Dave, but trust me,
Yeah.
it's in the air.
It's got 2 stars on IMDb. That's fantastic. I should see what the Rotten Tomatoes rating is. Jamie Dornan. I don't know.
Jamie, that doesn't sound familiar to me.
I
I don't know who the
He's
girl
in
is.
Marie Antoinette. Hold on.
The one with
The
Kirsten
Fall,
Dunst.
New World. No, he was on Once Upon a Time.
Oh, okay.
And not a
Apparently,
whole lot else.
One of the complaints I heard about the movie is surprisingly, whatever little bit of goofy charm the book has, the movie kind of messes up.
Overlaps it, yeah.
Yeah, amazingly.
Talking to my mom about it, she goes, and I was so surprised to find out that the movie just covers the first book. I was like, what are you talking about? I thought it would just be all 3 books in one movie.
She raises a good point because what I've heard about it is like there's kind of like nothing really happens and then it just suddenly ends to lead on to the next movie.
I don't know.
So apparently it's
I had to explain to her that Hollywood loves money.
Oh God, yes.
And chances are, I don't think... I was reading E.L. James is insisting on writing the screenplay for the second one herself. So production on that has been delayed.
Someone learned how Hollywood works, huh?
Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised if they do split it, because that's the new thing now. You split the 3rd installment into 2. They did it. It
But
started
she's
with
going to
Harry
want
Potter.
every single detail in there that she
Yeah.
wrote.
Yeah.
It started with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. They split that one into 2, which made sense because that's a tome of a book.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Split the last Twilight into 2 movies.
You'd honestly think they'd have
Actually, they did that
split.
with Titanic.
Did they? No, I think that was home release.
Yeah, the
they
home
had to
release was
Oh.
on 2 VHS.
They had to,
Oh,
they had to
yeah, that's
split it.
right, yeah.
But I was like, honestly, with Harry Potter, they should have started like back at like Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. But then they started doing it. It makes sense with Harry Potter because
Right.
that's an enormous book.
It is. It is.
They did again with the last Twilight,
Now-
which doesn't make sense.
Which is a big book, but I don't think a lot happens enough to merit that.
Right.
And again with Mockingjay, the third Hunger Games book, which again, I don't really think they needed to. That
they found an idea and they're going to ride it to the grave.
I mean, it doesn't quite anger me as much as splitting The Hobbit into 3 movies. I mean, they're doing it with the Avengers, too. That one sort of makes sense, because there is a lot that they can do there, and there's a lot of characters.
Oh, yeah, with the Infinity Gauntlet stuff.
The third one, Infinity War, is going to be 2 films.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
So, no, I'm not going to be surprised if they turn the third 50 Shades of Grey movie, if they split it into 2 parts.
Right.
Of what, though?
BDSM old lady porn.
This is just, it's not...
My mom tried to explain to me where the plot goes. And
apparently it's not even, like, a good representation of BDSM, because from what I hear, one of the tenets is, you have a safe word, and if you feel like this is going too far, you say that and you stop. And apparently they hit that point in the story at some point, and he ignores her.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, I've heard it. I've never wanted to do too much research on the book because just its existence angers me.
Yeah.
But no, I've read a couple of articles. I want to be careful about how I say this, so as to avoid offending anybody out there. But a lot of very angry feminists out there.
Yeah.
I've read.
Tumblr's a delight right now.
Oh yeah, that's where I found most of them. Because I have some very pro-feminist friends with strong opinions on it, and good Lord, like, not only is it a huge misrepresentation of BDSM culture as a whole,
right?
It's mostly just pro-domestic and emotional abuse.
That's because of its origins as Twilight fan fiction.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just can't say words today. Apparently,
I'm still waiting for that one scene where he's like, she's pregnant and has a baby, and now I'm going to fall in love with it. And then...
What?
He just described the end of Twilight, remember?
Yeah, Twilight.
I thought you were talking about, I thought we were still talking about 50 Shades. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I
somebody
was.
falls in love with a baby?
Yeah, that's what... I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen with it.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to surprise me, but that might do it.
Yeah.
What did you send me the other day that got a genuine
Like,
shock out of me?
Oh, yeah, it was that joke.
Yeah, now I have to look it up. I don't know if it's safe to say it on this podcast
No,
or
it
not.
probably wouldn't be.
What else you been watching?
Not that it has, like, anything... It was just one of those kind of, like, what do you call this? Oh, this! And it's like...
Oh, God, yeah, no, I can't say that on the
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll tell you later.
But those are the best jokes.
That's an Amy Arpan joke.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Lord. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
These walls are thin. We might offend some of the people in this building right now.
We might lose one of our 2 listeners.
Yeah.
Hey. There's 3 because I have to listen to all of this to put it on the...
It's true.
So, something else I know you were watching that you kind of got me into it at the end of it was Gallivant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It got a lot of mixed reviews. I was surprised to see, but I loved it.
People hate good things.
It was funny and meta. It was very funny and meta in a good way.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the people who wrote the songs and produced it were the same team behind the Little Mermaid and Tangled.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it's a very.
But it was adult.
It was.
It was very like it catered to.
It was a
like,
very
our age, if anything.
Yeah, because you know what it felt like. It felt like it was a very wink and a nod parody of Disney films made by people who made Disney films for people who grew up on Disney films.
Right. And it was refreshing in a way also that everyone complains, everything is sequels and remakes these days. There's nothing original anymore. First of all, there isn't anything original anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Second of all, you get these people who make this live-action fantasy show that's not based on, as far as I'm aware, on pre-existing material.
Right.
Was it a comic book?
It had
or a book?
allusions to it.
Yeah, it had plenty. But yeah, it's a classic fairy tale
Right, exactly.
set to music. It's a live-action fairy tale musical, very reminiscent of Disney, very self-aware, and still it gets mixed reviews. They ended the first season entirely on the assumption that they would get a second season.
Yeah.
Which was a huge gamble for them. That looks like it might not pay off. Unless somebody online picks it up, like Yahoo did with Community.
Oh, yeah.
That could happen.
Or might
maybe.
go to a Netflix original.
Yeah.
That would be great. And it's like people complain about there not being original stuff coming from the major places, and then they do it, and then they don't watch it and they don't like it.
Yeah, sadly, I still haven't watched a Netflix original. I still haven't watched the 4th season of Arrested Development.
Right.
I haven't watched Hemlock Grove.
Hemlock Grove's good.
Well, you've seen Orange is the New Black. That's
never mind.
Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen Orange is the New
What
Black.
about in House of Cards?
Yeah, House of Cards. Everyone keeps telling me to watch that. Ted, especially. I know he was in love with it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
it seems so heavy.
Yeah,
I have to be
in
the mood to watch something heavy.
Yeah,
and I started.
It's also it's weird because if it doesn't work for you, then the whole series doesn't work. But they do kind of like it's got a lighter moments, but it's a more serious show, and they do the kind of the Malcolm in the Middle. Clarissa explains it all. Protagonist is going to look at the camera. Protagonist is going to look at the camera and talk to you directly, kind of thing.
Oh God, we haven't done a podcast about No Fourth Wall yet.
That was on the idea list. We'll have to do it sometime.
Yeah, we could do a whole episode on that and the fact that I still haven't written the 3rd season yet.
Well,
we had it.
We had a solid outline, but we threw it out, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah, and I'm still. Wheels are still
turning.
Oh
yeah. I've started an idea list.
I'm getting closer and closer to finally deciding on where the 3rd season's going. If
you don't know, and I'm assuming there's a weird reason for that, considering you're listening to this podcast, we have our own web series that we've done we did 2 seasons of it, and we're working on a final season to close it out. It's a web series called No Fourth Wall, and if you want to check it out, it's on YouTube. Just type that in. You should be able to find it pretty quickly.
Or if you go to longwalkproductions.com, you can find a link to it on the main page.
That's true. Do that thing.
And that way all the episodes are in order as well. I know if you YouTube it, the episodes are all out of order.
Yeah,
but I've sorted in there too.
I've made playlists for them if you can find them through our website or just on YouTube that keep them in order because I can't stand that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything else that comes to mind? Interesting things you've been watching or listening to or etc.
No. Tried to watch Brick Mansions the other night. That was awful.
What is that about?
I'm going to wiki it real quick. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a remake of a foreign film, District B13. Mm-hmm. But it's one of Paul Walker's last films.
Oh, okay.
Paul Walker and... it wasn't Scott Adkins.
Oh, wait. Is Paul Walker and...
RZA.
Yeah, and they're... oh, man. What was it? It had to do with a mob?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Chris O'Neill was talking to me about that.
Oh, yeah, basically, they've walled off this entire projects area.
Yeah.
And the bad guy somehow becomes a nuclear power.
Yeah, it's a remake of the 2004 French film District 13. I occasionally am a Paul Walker fan. I'm not vehemently against him like a lot of people were, sadly. Rest in peace. But I am a RZA fan. I love the Wu-Tang Clan. I love his solo stuff. He's a very good actor. So all of this together, and it's primarily a parkour action film, I thought, this is going to be worth a shot. It's not. It's not worth a shot. Don't do it to yourself.
So you recommend a rental, or?
God, I didn't even
deny it.
I didn't even pay anything for it, and I want my money back.
Yeah, we had that moment with the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh.
I don't think
it's nominated for an Oscar.
I know. People love it, and I can't figure out why.
It's so quirky and whimsical.
I mean, opinions and all that jazz, different strokes for different folks, whatever. I don't care. God, that film was infuriating.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of backlash recently too. I loved Birdman.
Yeah.
You did not so much.
What I said when we came out of Birdman was it was very well done, well shot, well acted, good everything. But I'm never going to be able to watch it again. It was just. One, I'm not really in the world that it inhabits. I didn't really latch into it real well, and it's just. On top of that, it was a very brutal film in terms of the emotions and everything
Smacking
running
in the
through.
Face with reality.
It was The Wrestler for theater people.
Excuse me. Yeah. And I had read so much. Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold. I'd read so much positive hype about the film, and to me, it led up to it. So I was really surprised at all the negativity I've heard about the film, and yeah, it just makes me realize, there are people out there who love Grand Budapest and don't like Birdman. If my only two options were Birdman and Grand Budapest, I would want to see Michael Keaton beat Wes Anderson with that partnership.
No, that would be great. I'd love. Yeah.
But then again, I haven't.
Well, between those two, Birdman all the way.
I haven't seen any of the other Oscar contenders.
And I just forgot his name. I feel so terrible.
Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Oh yeah.
Edward Norton played such a wonderful a-hole. Just that was his character from start to finish. Just this a-hole method actor, and it was just.
I'm looking up what the other best pick. Oh, I haven't seen American Sniper.
I heard that was pretty good.
I've heard back and forth.
Yeah.
Imitation Game.
It's probably a good movie about a subject that the guy. I mean, the guy himself seems like a.
Yeah.
Theory of Everything I've heard is really good.
Oh, the Stephen
Boyhood
Hawking
I've heard is either wonderful and brilliant or it's pretentious trash. I can't decide.
It was filmed over 12 years.
Yeah.
An interesting method to it, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually.
I respect the dedication.
Out of the nominees, I've seen Grand Budapest and Birdman. The only one that I actually have any real desire to see is Whiplash. I don't know what he thinks about that.
It's a shame the Lego Movie got snubbed for. I don't think it was even included in animated.
No, and I remember. It was funny. James Gunn's response to that. The Lego Movie didn't get nominated for Best Animated. And there were no nominations for Guardians of the Galaxy's makeup department.
Which it really should have.
Yeah. So much of that was done practically.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rest of the nominees now, and it just reminds me, I still haven't watched Gone Girl. That's out on Redbox now.
Yeah,
read the book, highly recommend
really
it.
Good one.
Actor in a supporting role. Edward Norton absolutely deserved his nomination for Birdman.
Mm-hmm.
So did Emma Stone, also nominated for Birdman.
Emma Stone in her eyes.
Yes. Her beautiful eyes that I'm sure you find terrifying.
They are terrifying. I can't help it. The large eyes on people, especially when they've opened them as wide as possible.
Like, what's her name?
They freak me out.
Who is that girl that's in all the Tim Burton movies?
Oh, Helena Bonham Carter?
No, the other one.
Johnny Depp.
Helena Bonham Carter just has a big head. It's the.
I don't know.
Oh man, she gets made fun of in
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I caught that one.
Also, I think has beautiful eyes, but
I'm not saying they're not beautiful. They just freak me out.
Beautiful and terrifying.
Buggy-eyed.
Have either of you guys seen Big Hero 6 yet?
I want it so bad. It comes out on Tuesday.
It does?
It comes out on Tuesday, and I'm going to buy it just so I can watch it, because it got great reviews. Stan Lee has a supporting role in it.
Nice.
He plays one of the characters' dads.
Oh.
Birdman, of course, got a nomination for cinematography, and if it doesn't win, that's going to be a crime.
Especially that.
Yeah.
How long was that? There were a couple. There were a couple takes where it was just one long take. Right?
They all were.
Oh, they all were just one long.
Yeah,
take.
it's edited to look like it's one continuous take. I'd be willing to say it's probably over a 2-hour film, 10, 15 takes.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Because it's you can tell they shifted when they linger on some sort of stationary object, so that they could.
That's what fascinated me, having done cinematography and editing on, clearly on a small scale.
Right.
But for several years now, there were spots in Birdman where I could pick out, that's where they made the cut. But we were a good 30, 35 minutes into the movie before I picked out that first spot. That's what's fascinating to me, is clearly there was at least one or two cuts that I never even noticed. So, bravo to Emmanuel de Bezki, cinematographer for Birdman, apparently.
Mm.
And again, if Grand Budapest wins anything, I'm going to be upset. It's also nominated for cinematography, Wes Anderson for directing. I just do not... Film editing, Grand Budapest.
I don't even know if I would say it's edited too well. It's
Makeup
like,
and hairstyling.
he does a lot of stark cuts. That just scene end. Just like
Production design. God,
Boom.
Grand Budapest got a lot of nominations.
who does he have pictures of?
Walls.
Uh,
Half of houses.
perfectly centered.
Yes, please,
Ugh.
God, stop that.
Anything else? Anything else stuck out to you?
Nightcrawler, I still want to see.
Oh yeah, they figured out who they were casting for that, I think.
No, not that Nightcrawler.
Oh, okay.
The movie.
Oh.
The movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just noticed it was nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who did they cast as? I just saw it. They cast somebody as Nightcrawler in X-Men Apocalypse. Some kid.
Just some kid.
Oh, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, lighting women's hearts on fire.
And then
I said
putting
hearts
out-
because I want to keep this PG-13.
and also on
The
fire
lower
because
heart.
he's going to put them out later with water. Because
I see what you did there.
Mm, we call that the lower heart.
Hold on, I'll get there eventually. Who the hell is playing Nightcrawler? I just saw this yesterday. In other news, Adam Sandler is still making movies and should stop. They released a trailer for The Cobbler.
What?
I don't know.
I like Strange Wilderness though.
Cody Smith McPhee.
So you're the one.
Yeah. Cody McPhee.
Cody Smith McPhee. Oh yeah, he was the kid in Let Me In, the American remake of
Oh. Wow. Really?
And now he can get in whenever he wants because he's Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teleport in there.
Poof, poof.
Are you doing anything? No. Haha. Okay, you're in this one.
Hold on, I haven't had an excuse to do this yet. Somebody make a bad pun.
Are you a carrot? Cause you're good for my eyes. That's more of a pickup line.
I will slam this down on your hand.
Hold on, let's let this phone call. And somebody's on speakerphone.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this opportunity to have a donut hole.
Unprofessional.
Yeah, that's what this podcast screams, professional.
You just need to learn how to eat quietly, like what's his name and I.
No.
If I didn't have the world's
Oh, Zade, when did you get here?
Oh.
if I didn't have the world's loudest water bottle as well.
I'm not so worried about incidental noise as I am just everyone around us having phone
That's
calls
all I
right
do.
now. Do you feel proud of yourself? Do you
Yes,
feel
I do.
accomplished?
Thank you.
Well, just for that, I'm moving on.
Did you say
Zade.
accomplished?
Yes.
Did you make up a word?
No.
It's spreading.
Oh no, it's contagiable.
What'd I say earlier?
Contagiable.
I know I said irrationable earlier.
Ew,
What was the
what was
first
the-
one I
You
said?
put like a bull at the end of everything. That should have like a shun.
I don't remember, and that's probably for the best.
Otherwise my brain would get stuck on it.
Anything you saw?
I actually watched Her a couple weeks ago with a buddy of mine, and I constantly get told I look like Joaquin Phoenix, and I'm kind of like, I'm tired of him.
Oh,
But-
Her. It took me a minute to remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man falls in love with his computer.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's basically Bicentennial Man, right? And then it kind of was. But it was just, the cinematography for that was like really good. And the setting, for like an original screenplay, it was very detailed in its writing of picturing what a real relationship looks like and the stages of it. And like the evolution of honeymoon to like tiny struggles to miscommunication to just deprivation of trying to keep it
Now, what is a
together.
miscommunication when you're in love with your computer? Is it a typo?
Well, okay, so what happened?
No. It's enough.
Okay. I'm retiring the sad joke.
No, unless it's really funny.
I will say about the movie that the voice acting by Scarlett Johansson was like phenomenal. Like, even though she basically sounds like a 40-year-old cheerleader. It's just like, it's just that, like, they have that.
She's got
you
the
can-
weight of a full-grown woman behind her voice, but she's got the pep to it.
Well, okay, so you can tell it sometimes through like a woman's voice if they've ever done cheerleading by like if it's raspy, because all through you have a long period of time of where you have to scream out like cheers and stuff like that, where you basically ruin your throat and your vocal cords. What? No, it's true.
No, he's laughing for a different cheerleaders ruining throats. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was sheltered.
No.
wasn't.
You should be sorry. He should be sorry. But he's not sorry.
I'm not
No.
sorry.
Sorry, but not sorry. But, like, it was just really well written, and it was just kind of like a, I'm not sure if when did it come out? Was it earlier this year?
Honestly,
Or was it last year?
I think it was
last year.
2013 or
Because I remember
2014.
seeing people making fun of it all the time, because there's this one scene where it's like,
Well, it was either late 2013 or early 2014.
It was December 2013.
That's what I thought, because
wow.
it got nominated for Oscars last year. So.
yeah, exactly, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, like, I had only, kind of thankfully, I didn't know too much about it, except there was one scene people always make fun of, and it's the one where he's laying on his side, and he's, like, talking to the computer through, like, an earbud, but someone, like, cropped out the photo to where it's just his forehead and his eyes, and he does this thing where he wrinkles his forehead, and as he's talking, it goes like this, and what someone did is they took the scene of just that.
This is a podcast, right? No one can see what you just did.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay.
Go look it up on YouTube.
I'll make an animation of it.
No.
But for any YouTubers out there, do a fan-made
Anyone?
animation.
You mean everyone?
But anyway, but they just took the scene of like him with his forehead moving, and they just kind of dubbed over it with like, and it looks like a Muppet basically because his forehead wrinkles so much.
Oh, here we go.
Oh God.
And they're like, you can't unsee his forehead.
Hold on, I'm coming around.
Edit this out.
No, this stays in. He looks like he's from the Dark Crystal.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it looks kind of like Voldemort.
Yeah.
He looks like a Skeksis.
It's smiling.
It looks like it's going to kill whatever it's found.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you see, that was the only thing I had ever seen of that movie before I watched it. So it was kind of like, what is this? Is this a joke? But my buddy was like, no, it's not. And I cried 5 times. And I don't cry.
Aw.
But it was...
That would be a good topic. Movies that make us cry. Movies that make grown men cry.
I don't. There's a lot of movies that normally wouldn't make me cry, but if they hit me at the right time, I will.
Like Lego movies.
We're gonna have a talk, you and I.
That's okay. End of Return of the King every single time.
Yes.
There we go.
That's like an automatic.
I've never seen it. And a Paul drops on the roof. Mm-hmm.
Well, the Green Berets will be in
So
any
you've never
minutes.
seen Return of the King?
No, I don't think I saw all of Two Towers either. I saw the first.
Fellowship.
I saw Fellowship, and I was not overly impressed after that, so I didn't go back to watch
David
it.
is a god.
He is. This is weird.
What just happened? I think I blacked out for a second.
I had this horrible dream where you hadn't seen any of the Lord of the
I
Rings
don't want to
films.
alarm you, but a black guy is president now.
But
This is an unforgivable offense.
I've seen clips from them. I have not seen the whole thing.
Wow. That makes me sad.
Aw, I don't care.
Yeah, no.
But
Anything else?
I'm trying to think. Going in like music wise, I recently found this comedian slash musician named Tim Minchin, and at first I was just kind of looking on Facebook, and it was just like I'm subscribed to Summit Comedy because I worked with them for a while up in Charlotte and through DSU, and it was like, check out Tim Minchin. He's this new funny comedian from Australia, and he's a musician. And it's like, okay.
Well, he's not new. He's just now getting over to us, is what I'm...
Yeah, basically. And I was like, well, I've never heard of this guy. And he looks like Russell Brand, just blonde. And then I was like, well, let's give this guy a try. And so, first song he does is called Thank You, God.
For fixing the cataracts of Sam's mom.
Yes, yeah, Dave introduced me to him by having me sit down and sit through that. It's a 10-minute bit, at least a 10-minute bit.
Yeah.
Well, there's songs, so all
right,
of them are 10-minute bits.
I know.
And that was the...
I
can't hear that without automatically wanting to sing the entire...
I had never seen him perform before. I had seen him on YouTube. I watch QI because that's the only way I can watch it, being a filthy American. It's a very good show, and there are plenty of YouTube channels that upload the entire episodes of it. And you should really go check it out, and because BBC doesn't mind. It's like they don't really strike them down too much.
No.
They might more now that QI has an official channel, but but it depends, because there's a channel I'm subscribed to, and they've done nothing but upload full episodes of QI. You're gonna lose hand privileges in a minute. Seriously, you would like. I've shown you clips. You'd like the show if you sat down and watched it. I'm sorry, I didn't do anything like that when you were describing.
The next morning, you have like a fork and a knife for a hand.
Oh God,
I'm not giving.
That's going to be a whole. I didn't tell you about that, Chris.
What? Oh God, what?
It's a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Man who has a fork and a knife for hands.
Right. Yeah, I guess
don't question it.
His friend's a fan.
Yeah, his best friend turns into a fan. It's more stuff for the old woman.
Okay.
The Old Woman is a play from Russian director Albert Rudnitsky being performed next weekend, the 27th and 28th of February, at Main Street Contemporary Theater in Rock Hill, with 2 more performances the next weekend, first weekend in March.
I felt compelled to do that.
And are you now?
It's all right. We're gonna have to cut it for time anyway.
Probably.
Let's see. I'll jump in then. Unless you're afraid it's gonna bore you too much. No? Am I good?
Finger it.
You touch my laptop and I stab you with every sharp instrument in this room.
Including me.
Including Zade.
Because I'm very witty.
I was about to make that same joke.
I'm done. Goodbye.
So Tim Minchin.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. But, like, at first I was like, what is this goofball? And I was like, oh, it's basically Bo Burnham, but with more instrumentation. And then I looked a little bit more into him, and I was just like, holy crap, like, this guy really knows, like, he graduated from a private college in contemporary music, and also did, like, poetry studies. And I was like, really? This is... And then I was listening to the lyrics of all his music, and I was like, this is really deep stuff. Like, just the allusions to different cultures and different, like, even writers was just really phenomenal. And just the themes that he talks about really, like, made me go, I never thought of it that way. And then...
Plus he's hilarious.
Right, yeah, and he finds that dark humor in...
Hilarious and offensive and hilariously offensive.
Yes, basically. And then, yeah, and it was just kind of one of those, like, I was like, I need to tell everyone. And so, like, I think it was...
We watched the entire 2.5 hour special with
Yeah.
Dogs and Kara.
Which is on Netflix, if you're interested.
Mm-hmm.
But, I would say just go to YouTube and...
But now we pretty much introduce everyone to Tim Minchin by showing them Thank You, God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Worth a watch. Alright, so...
Yeah. So that's Tim Minchin.
Yeah.
So what about you, Chris?
Oh, are we on me now? Is that okay?
Maybe David's on you, not me. I'm not into that.
Yes, Chris, that's fine. Go right ahead.
So let's see. Trying to jump back and think about what.
Okay, well, that's all the time that we've got for today.
Wonder-
Thank you guys for listening.
What you're hearing is the end of a podcast and a friendship.
It's all the way over here.
I dropped a coaster, and they went out of their way to go get it, and it's funny.
That's friendship right
That's
there.
true.
I didn't have to go
Zade
anywhere.
did
It was
most of the
under my
work.
desk.
I'm empathetic. Oh,
So I'm trying to think back because, good God, when I wasn't been working, I worked on a movie, and then it's just like everything else is just blurs. So I'm trying to think, what did I start catching up on? I know Dave and I saw A Million Ways to Die in the West,
Yeah.
which I don't think it deserved being on any of those worst of 2014 lists. I don't get it.
We watched it with Katie.
Yeah.
And then we watched
yeah,
it.
we watched it with me.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was like a little meandering. It's quirky. I think really the biggest sin Seth MacFarlane committed was up front being more, because of his style. He's more of a tell, don't show kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was funny.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I know you saw Godzilla, which
I
saw.
did. Oh, so good.
Oh, I wanna
So good. And I was like, I immediately, as soon as I had the money, went out and bought it off Amazon. It's so good. I highly recommend it. Now, it takes a while. It's a slow burn. It takes a while for Godzilla to fully appear. But, there's hints of
apparently angered quite a bit.
Well, of course it would.
Yeah, as like people will see, because those people fell in love with the later Godzilla movies, which was, okay, Godzilla's been introduced, we can just start messing around with giant monsters.
And destroying Tokyo.
Right. But this was like
The drama behind it.
Yeah, the drama behind it was like the first one, which was a slow burn.
The first one was a slow one.
It was about the buildup of why Godzilla is there, and then Godzilla shows up,
Right.
and it was really good. And one thing I liked, I don't remember who I was talking to about it. Maybe you?
It may have been me.
I think as I was talking about, as great was the fact that people were competent in that movie. Like, the military people weren't just bomb it back to hell. They were like, we need to take care of this, but we need to be smart about it.
Right.
Like, everyone was actually working toward a peaceable solution. No one was fighting each other.
Right.
They were focused on solving the problem of giant monsters being in the world now.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I thought that was good. That was actually smart.
That's boring. Send it to hell.
No, but it's good. It's got a lot of action in it. It's got some really. It's at the end. It's got a really. I'm gonna say not tearjerker, but it's got a very,
Poignant.
I would say poignant moment with Godzilla,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the
There's a
human
sentence I never
characters.
expected to hear someone say.
Bye-bye, Godzilla!
No, it's not like that.
poignant
but
He goes in the sunset and goes in the water.
It
There's
does.
a podcast that we should be listening to. A poignant moment with Godzilla.
I want to. No, I'm sure someone will make that Tumblr. Poignantgodzilla.tumblr.com. What else? What else did I catch up on? Oh, I don't know if it's a group. A lot of people.
Nothing.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a group a lot of people know, but Mystery Skulls finally released an album. They've been building up to for a couple of years now, and I thought it was wonderful. It was what I was hoping it would be. I know I showed Dave the music videos they released.
What is Miss? Oh wait, They did that where the one video where the guy's a exorcist.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Ghost. That's the one for Ghost. Yeah, it's very. It's one thing. It's like the songs. They're very electro-ish.
Right. Or transic.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very really either driving or soothing.
Right.
But they always go balls to the wall goofy for their video.
For the videos,
yeah, and
yeah.
it's awesome. You should watch the one for Paralyzed too. It's a bunch of people dressed up like ancient druids / monks, and they're playing b-ball against each other.
Oh.
That's the entire thing. It looks like some weird mystic order is just jamming on the chord.
Uh-huh.
What else did I... for Christmas, and I just recently got the first part of the second season. I've been catching up on the released Batman TV show.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the thing. It didn't really go... from what I've been watching, it didn't really go off the rails until they did the movie after the first season. The first season is... It's interesting. It's darker than you would think. It's like what makes it funny is that they literally translated the comic book onto the TV screen.
Right.
Which was everything they're showing you. It looks goofy because they're doing it in live action.
Right. Yeah.
Like if this were printed in a comic book, you would not really think twice about it,
right.
especially from that era. But what's in because when they talk about putting Batman in a death trap, they literally talk about killing Batman. It's like, I'm going to kill him with this. It's like, hey, whoa, all right. In the first episode, this girl who was helping the Riddler try and pull off some sort of scheme pretends to be Robin to get into the Batcave. She falls into Batman's atomic reactor that he uses to power the Batcave. She got blowed up.
Wow.
Like that's, and it's just, and that's
by herself.
Well, she's trying to sabotage the Batcave, and she falls into it.
Oh no!
And Batman tries to save her.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh, so Batman was there.
Yeah, he was there, and he tried.
Like he's there. I'm going to change his milk into an expired milk, and it's like I died.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the schemes are still insane because in the first season there is the King Tut episode, the first King Tut episode, which is wonderful. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, all right.
It's
sorry, I think we were expecting more.
Done.
There's one where there's one where the Joker rigs vending machines to give out free money so that, like, especially in the high school, so that in the Gotham high school, so that the kids will take the money and be like, hey, this is easy. I don't have to work at all. That is literally what they start doing the minute they start getting free quarters from a machine. Like, hey, it's paying out money. What? I don't have to work hard anymore. I'm on Easy Street.
That sounds about right.
It pretty much was the episode. There was more to it, but no, that was the highlight.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I caught up on that, and it's a very interesting show. I think my nostalgic attachment is they were still rerunning it when I was growing up, when I was young, around 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And they were still rerunning it, and that's when I first caught it, and I was like, oh, this is neat.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see that because it's a reflection of how Batman is at any given point.
Right. Yeah.
Like that TV show took off and was hugely popular, and that coaster's gone forever. No, it's down here. Don't worry. Oh, all right. Ah, it'd be funny if I dropped it again.
You're not getting it back a third time.
Just be like a cat and stare you in the eyes as I push it off the desk.
Go for it.
You like this? No.
Well, goodbye. Yeah, it's because it's like that's how Batman was because of the comic code and how they were just trying to be more family friendly.
Right. Yeah.
And then Frank Miller came along in the 80s.
And see, yeah, the Batman like movies and everything started reflecting that. And I was actually thinking about that the other day. Is like I would think with advances in technology, they could do a Batman TV show again.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
And not have it look
Kinda.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, Gotham. How's that? Has anybody
I haven't
watched
watched
that?
it.
I've heard good things about it.
I've heard it's alternately decent and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard that for every good episode that the show has, they've got 2 or 3 that are just absolutely absurd.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a Batman TV show would work now, but the problem is no one wants to try that because it's just like with Smallville.
It has a history.
Well, I mean, everyone's trying to do like, okay, here is Superman before he became Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's Bruce going up in Gotham, and here's all the villains getting their start. And I think the
Teenage angst Bruce Wayne, though, doesn't really...
But I mean,
That sounds annoying.
Yeah.
I feel like they could do Batman Year One as a TV
Oh, they
show.
could absolutely do Batman Year One as a TV
Or just
show.
Batman in general.
Or
And
do Batman when he's Batman Beyond. Never mind.
it would serve Batman better, I think, because trying to cram it all into a movie I don't think it works most of the time. We've had good ones.
Yeah.
We've had the Nolan trilogy. We've had the first Batman, the second Batman, then the other two. The third one isn't even that bad. It's just this one went off the rails.
Yeah. I'm still cautiously optimistic about Zack Snyder's Batman vs. Superman. I'm one of the few people apparently that thinks Ben Affleck can pull it off.
I think Ben Affleck can pull it off. I don't think that movie's going to pull off.
Right. Yeah.
I would love for it to. I'm not hating it yet, but I would love for it to do more to increase my optimism for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see more that reassures me.
Yeah. But then again, we didn't hate Man of Steel either,
No.
which puts us in the minority.
It is. Sadly, I was just thinking about that the other day. Is like I don't understand how I'm in the minority for hating this. I mean, for liking this. I don't understand why the majority hates it so much. Because I mean, it's not like they pulled this out of thin air.
Yeah.
This character of how Superman is acting, the way he is.
Right.
They pulled that storyline almost directly from specific comics.
Right. Exactly.
I don't get it. I'm trying to
You
think.
can't make everyone happy, and I don't see them doing
Or anyone in terms of comic book fans.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
God.
see them doing another Batman TV show for not live action at least for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Now the cartoons generally do a good job, and but they've been really killing it with the animated direct-to-DVD movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the Lois and Clark series in Smallville really oversaturated television with Superman.
It did. Yeah.
And
Yeah, because 10 years of Smallville meant they ran through every bit of the Superman mythos, and then he put on the cape, and then so what?
right.
Yeah.
And now we've got all the other DC shows like The Flash and Green Arrow that
They
are
got the-
apparently doing well.
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
are pretty
and
good. I
actually-
watched a couple of them.
those are intertwined apparently.
Yeah.
They got shared.
Rights.
Katie and I were talking about this last night because The Avengers was on FX,
Mm-hmm.
and she was saying Marvel should stick to movies, DC should stick to television shows.
That's
That seems to work
basically
out
how
well.
they've been
Yeah.
winning.
Uh-huh.
That's how it's been established for years.
Because as much as it, we're having a nerdy discussion already.
DC does
but,
good at cartoons too. Like Marvel and DC are like on equal footing in terms of cartoons.
Yeah.
Marvel cartoons are really not that.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends.
I feel like Agent Coulson's death in The Avengers was a genuinely touching moment, and I feel like they kind of ruined that by bringing him back for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I
haven't
think
watched-
caving into the whole fan thing of he's not dead.
Yeah.
No,
I haven't watched any of the second season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No.
It lost me about halfway into the first one.
Yeah.
And I watched the first episode of Agent Carter. But I kind of... Well, then again, I haven't watched Green Arrow or Flash either, so I can't really say who's doing better in that regard. As far as the television aspect goes, I definitely think Marvel has a lock on the live-action films.
Yeah.
That may change though with the Netflix series that are coming out.
Yeah, that's true, because they released the trailer for Daredevil not too long ago, and I am looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Daredevil might be the one that sticks because he's a street level superhero,
Right.
and in a gritty part of he runs Hell's Kitchen. So I mean, he's very much a gritty. It would work perfectly for TV.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to think what. Oh, I finally saw I Know That Voice, which was the voice actor documentary.
Yeah. With who is there a host to it?
Not a host.
Aaron.
DiMaggio is kind of
The
he helps direct it a bit because he's a
Right.
producer.
yeah.
So he kind of like the flow kind of is
Ebbs.
angled through him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
It's
wish
all those guys that have been in it for so long to
Yeah.
where they know what they're talking about and they know
Mhm.
how to say it, if anything. Because they're voice actors.
I wish there could have been more to it. But I don't know specifically. Like I wish they had just explored as many avenues of the business as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that it could have benefited from that. But other than that, it was a good documentary
Yeah.
that doesn't come along very often and
Right.
deserves to. Because they touched on.
Did they touch more on the animation aspect, or did they go mostly into like just in general, like doing narration for ebooks and stuff like that?
No, it's very much about animated stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's very much about.
Which a lot of people want.
I mean, I think they talk about video games too.
Right,
But
yeah, exactly.
they talked about the main medium where they're used.
Mhm.
I was going to say... Oh, yeah, because they also touched on the whole Chris Rock thing, which was...
Oh, goodness.
Was it,
I remember when
Was
that
it Academy
happened.
Awards 2012 or 2013? I think it was
2013. I remember being on Facebook, and I'm actually friends with Tara Strong, and seeing her status saying, "What load of crap," and everybody's like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right, Tara."
For those who don't know, Chris Rock, basically, when he was introducing the animated category...
With Madagascar, he was doing Madagascar at the time.
Yeah. He was talking about...
How easy it is.
how
to
much
be voice
easier it is
acting.
to be a voice actor, which is generally not the accepted view.
No.
Because it's like he just says, you just say things into a microphone and they give you $1 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like and they explain it about the way I thought of it. It's like he doesn't understand that because he's a celebrity.
Right. He's already famous, and so they're picking him because of his celebrity status.
Of his voice, yeah.
Yeah.
They want his voice.
It's the same way, like, here's an example. One of my friends that I actually do workshops with in Greenville, named Lisa Biggs, there's a Disney XD TV show called Gravity Falls, where there are two main characters. I don't remember the character's name, which is bad.
Mabel and Dipper.
Mabel and Dipper.
Yeah.
She almost got casted as Mabel, the sister, who, yes, I can braces and talks like that kind of deal.
Yeah, Kristen Shaw voices her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When Lisa almost had that role,
Yeah.
but they took her out because we need a B-rated actress that people know.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Kirsten Shaw did a really great job with the character.
She does. It works for her.
But it was one of those it was just because no one really knew Lisa that kind of made her like, oh man, really? That because Kirsten Shaw had done live acting, and I don't think Lisa did too much live acting, but
they had honestly gotten lucky too because Gravity Falls came along as Bob's Burgers was getting big.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it was finally debuting.
Right, and plus Kirsten Shaw had already been doing like live movies, like she was in Dinner for Schmucks. She was in. She didn't play big roles.
She was a regular on The Daily Show. So
yeah, exactly. So she already had a face to where everybody was like, "Oh, that one."
Yeah, that's the difference. It's like people who are doing normal roles because they want the character to stand out. They're acting.
And people want to see. People want to have a face with characters that they want to love.
And then sometimes you just want a celebrity, so you get him for his voice. I mean, if they can act, that's great. But what you want is the recognizability.
Exactly.
And that's what I don't think Chris Rock understood. It's like he didn't.
Well, it was kind of like how all the Batman movies happen. It was just like, oh, I was about to say Clint Eastwood. I meant George Clooney.
Clint Batman would be awesome. He would be a great Bruce Wayne for Batman Beyond live action movie.
He wouldn't even need the black
Old
makeup
Batman
on his eyes. He'd just squint.
He'd be great old Batman, old Bruce Wayne, Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for tuning back in, Dave.
Yeah.
And people have been talking about that for years. When it first looked like what Nolan wanted to do was adapt Dark Knight Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm reading a fascinating review of the NBC series The Slap.
Okay, that's good. Don't let this podcast get in the way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Are we doing a podcast? What's going on?
God. Anything else you want to talk about entertainment-wise? I mean, we can go ahead and get into the Marvel stuff then. It's like...
I think we should probably go ahead and wrap this one up and go on to the next one.
Okay, then. All right, we'll see you next time then.
Find a way to wrap this one up better than all of a sudden. Okay, well, we'll see you next time.
All right.
I assume you're going to edit all of this out.
How
right?
is 10 seconds of awkward silence to you?
10 seconds of awkward silence sounds good. Thank you.
All right, then.
What the hell are we talking about? I got distracted by the slap. We were talking about Clint Eastwood as Batman. What is going on? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. I hope this all made sense to you.
I'll just play music. I'll just find a good spot and just slap in a song, and there we're done. It's just
okay. Sounds good.
I could even do it in the middle of a sentence if I wanted.